Now, that's a nice explosive run to get things started there. And there's something about when it's a night game, it seems a little bit more, meaning a little bit broader, crisper, maybe even contacts a bit more because guys have been waiting all day long to get at each other. And the best coaches that I played for, they handled night games really well, and they're a different animal than day games because you have to wait so long. You still have to harness all that intensity and then let it go at the proper time.
We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it.
Well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And it's the first quarter, but they gave up the score last time. How important is it here not to fall 2 scores behind?
Extremely important because not only are you trying to avoid being in a big deficit to start this game off, you also want to get into a pattern where that offense has the advantage. You've got to find a way to turn things around. This is the series to begin that.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep them off the scoreboard here for a second time. At 6'5", Kelvin Benjamin is so hard for defenses to deal with.
When you open up the dictionary and you look at that NFL definition of uncovering, you find Kelvin Benjamin. His catch radius where you can put the ball almost anywhere. You can go up and get it. Remember how they won a national championship when he was at Florida State? Late game drive, put it way up there on the top shelf, and Kelvin Benjamin got it. Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it first and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal. That defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that. And sometimes when you're watching a game, you can actually see drills in effect during a ball game. And what I saw there was what running backs call the gauntlet drill, where they have to go through a series of defenders who are going to hit them, poke at the football, make them bounce, spin for extra yardage, the whole deal. And we saw it there. His running backs coach, he's got to be awfully proud of that run. That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now it brings up a third down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here. 3rd and inches, you pretty much expect to see straight ahead runs, and this one doesn't quite go that way. And it certainly didn't help them trying to pick up a first down.
Yeah, tried to get to the outside, lost yardage. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3. I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance, it's amazing. You can get 3 points now. It's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which would be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
And now can they carry that over?
Winslow, to me, he was the prototype of what we're seeing today.
So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
Was the quarterback in his center on that play. They saw the blitz. made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a good strike.
And a really nice job last time. Offense had great field position, but they were able to hold them just 4 plays, and they had to hit the field goal.
We saw the benefits of practice there from the defense, though, didn't we? Because most teams, when they have that type of field position that they have to start defense on, they treat it almost like what we call sudden change. After a turnover or a big kick return, whatever that is, you tell the guys, listen, you got to bow up. You got to get in there. Make sure you don't give up any more than a field goal.
They bowed up all right. We'll see if they bow up again.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy. Came underneath on the drag, completed it very well. When we talk about Luke Kuechly, his overall game without his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to give into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, and catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
In this case, give him a lot of credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone. Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
2-score game, obviously. Every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. But they want you've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
In his career, he has a spell of 10 straight seasons, 4,000 yards or more. Only quarterback to do that. We're seeing more of it here in this one.
We better not take it for granted, because what we're watching, it's vintage Drew Brees, but it still is excellent. Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that. Still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. Since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away. They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.